Hello, welcome back to the channel. You are watching the voice of Mzansi. Today's news has left quite a few people shaking their heads and others simply laughing in disbelief. Please watch till the end so you can hear the sources of this news and try to verify it for yourself. Now, in one of the most unusual scenes you'll hear about this week, an illegal foreign national reportedly surprised everyone at a South African clinic when he was asked to produce identification and instead pulled out a Shoprite loyalty card. Yes, not a passport, not an asylum document, not even a driver's license, but a Shoprite extra savings card. The incident allegedly took place earlier this week at a local clinic where the man had gone to seek medical attention. According to witnesses, staff members followed the normal procedure and asked him to produce a valid form of identification so they could register him in the system. That's when he confidently reached into his pocket and handed over the loyalty card, as if that would somehow pass as legal ID. The confusion in the room was immediate. Some people thought it was a joke, others assumed maybe he misunderstood the request. But when the clinic staff explained again that they needed legal identification, the man reportedly insisted that the card had his details on it and should be accepted. This raised a much bigger issue that's been circulating across South Africa for years: how undocumented foreigners manage to navigate services and systems that legally require proof of identity. In this case, it wasn't just about the fact that the man didn't have the right documents, but also about the growing frustration some citizens feel when they see these situations unfold while locals are told they must comply with strict rules. The clinic staff apparently handled the matter with patience at first, but eventually, security was called in to manage the situation. Reports suggest that law enforcement later got involved to verify the man's legal status, which allegedly turned out to be non-existent. This led to questions about how long he's been in the country, how he's been getting by without papers, and whether this has happened at other institutions. Community members who witnessed the incident expressed mixed reactions. Some were angry, saying it's unfair that locals are expected to have their ID books or smart cards in order while others seem to bypass the system. Others couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of someone thinking a supermarket loyalty card could be a substitute for official identification. One local resident described the situation as both tragic and comical, saying it shows how some people are so out of touch with South Africa's legal requirements that they treat a loyalty card like it's a passport. Another person noted that it's also a reminder of the country's ongoing struggles with border control and immigration enforcement. The Department of Home Affairs has been under pressure to tighten regulations and speed up the process of identifying and deporting undocumented individuals, especially those who repeatedly fail to comply with the law. In this case, the matter is reportedly being investigated further, and the man may face deportation depending on the outcome. This news comes at a time when public debate over undocumented foreigners and access to public services is hotter than ever. Clinics, schools, and even housing programs have all reported cases where undocumented people try to use alternative means, whether fake IDs, borrowed documents, or in this case, a completely unrelated loyalty card, to access services meant for residents and citizens. And while the incident has sparked plenty of online jokes and memes, it's also highlighting the serious reality that South Africa's immigration system is being stretched and, at times, exploited. Some South Africans believe the government needs to draw a harder line, while others argue for a more humanitarian approach that still respects the rule of law. At the end of the day, whether you find it funny, frustrating, or downright unbelievable, it's a reminder of the unique and sometimes absurd situations that can unfold in everyday life. And let's be honest, this is one of those moments that will probably be talked about in the community for a while. As for the man himself, if nothing else, he's now famous for one of the strangest attempts at identification ever reported in the country. And while we can all agree that legal paperwork is serious business, you have to admit, producing a Shoprite loyalty card at such a moment takes a certain kind of confidence. If there was a prize for creative but impractical problem solving, he'd probably win it, though it's safe to say it wouldn't be redeemable for extra savings points. If you found this news interesting, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more updates like this. And if you have any thoughts about this unusual incident, drop them in the comments. Should there be stricter checks at clinics? Or was this just a misunderstanding that got blown out of proportion? And before we wrap up, here's a quick smile for the day. Next time you go to Home Affairs, don't forget your ID, unless you think your Woolies rewards card might do the trick. Spoiler alert, it won't. All images used are for illustration purposes only. Sources: Southern Live, Times Live, Daily Sun.